just to warn you, if you are listening to this podcast on your own,
Yes.
especially in the dark, and you can get slightly scared about things, then
Trigger warning.
She gets it from me, I get it from her. Together we rise when the lines all blur. The highs and lows, the space in between.
welcome to the She Gets It From Me podcast with your host,
She gets it from
Ellie.
and Layla, the mother, you're the daughter. And we don't have a preamble at this moment in time, but
Oh yeah, whoops. Week
today
2.
we're going to talk about things that terrified us as kids that probably don't really matter anymore, or there's far worse things to worry about in life than the Loch Ness Monster, and just things in general that terrified us. I did make a list, but I think
I've also got a list. I think it might
You've
be
got-
quite similar, you know.
do you reckon?
I think so. Well,
I suppose
it-
that would make sense, though, wouldn't it? 'Cause we've grown up,
yeah.
not together, because I'm your mother.
I wish we
but-
had.
Do you know what? Would we have got on, or would we have fought, do you think?
Well, you were a
'Cause-
little shit apparently, so probably would have hated you.
I was quite naughty, but do you know, it's weird when I think that. I was quite naughty, but also I was quite horrible to Hannah and Ricky because I was so much older than them. I took full advantage of
Yeah, but
being
you
the
do
older
as a
sibling.
kid, really, don't you? Your siblings. You're just like, you're so annoying.
Yeah, I wasn't very pleasant to them at all, actually, to the point they used to
Oh.
cry when my mum used to leave me alone with them. So
Okay.
they used to honestly stand at the door going, "Don't leave us with her." I'd be like, "Come in the house."
You know you want to.
And then it was a real power trip. And then I'd make them stand in the corner for ages, and they'd be begging to be let out the corner. And then I'd let them out, and I'd go, "Oh."
Oh no, I used to do that with Darcy and Tavy sometimes. Not the corner, but they're my cousins. I would get them to swear or something. I'd be like, "Go on, just say the F word," and then they'd say it, and I'd go, "Right then," and then I'd have a go at them for saying it, and then they'd cry, and I'd be like, "Oh, it's okay, don't cry."
I think that's even worse, actually, than what I used to do. You actually were
Maybe.
getting them to be naughty and telling them
Yeah.
off for it. Yeah.
Then I would be like, "Oh, come here, don't worry. You don't ever have to cry. I was only joking."
When you're
I
old,
know.
when you're the older one, though, you are power pissed, aren't you? It's like when you've got a pet. I used to do the same to my cat. I used to lock it in the airing cupboard, wait for it to meow, and then let it out. And I'd be like,
No, okay, I didn't do that.
well,
'Cause
I mean,
pets
I would.
can't- No, that's too far.
Well, I wouldn't do it now, would I? But my 9-year-old self. Okay, so how are we going to? So are we going to acknowledge anything from the week so far, or we're just going into?
We can talk about the week quickly. Mine's weeking.
And it's only Tuesday.
The week is weeking, and it's only Tuesday.
Mm.
Put it that way. What about your week? I can't go into detail. If I could, I would.
No, I know. I don't know. I think. Yeah, have you heard of that expression, treading water? Just sort of you're doing things, but you don't feel you're getting anywhere.
Yes.
It feels a bit like that because I'm working on this project, and at the beginning it was like really nice because it was like, oh, I can see this through from start to end. But it's a bit like, when you decide to like clean a room and you
Oh no, I
pull
was just gonna say, clean the wardrobe, and halfway
Yes.
through you're like, oh my god, what have I done?
why did I start this? Yeah. And you get distracted because you just want to
Lift that.
but
Now we're not at the same head height. Sorry, it's
Oh,
just
it
I
doesn't
can
matter.
really feel that my double chin is hanging out today.
No, it's not. But it doesn't matter anyway. But so that's that. And then it's the realization that actually in not too many weeks away, I'm going back to a previous role. And that I'm finding quite
Daunting, maybe?
don't think about it. But anyway, we're not going to think about that. Right. So as a kid, there were things called urban legends, urban myths. and I actually couldn't think of anything. So, I sent you that screenshot because it was the one that somebody had said about the Bermuda Triangle. When you think the Bermuda Triangle is scary and then you get old. And I suppose their point is life just becomes the thing to worry about, doesn't it? Like having to do a job that you can't stand and paying the bills. And
Yeah.
anyway, that kind of thing. So I thought this would be quite a good theme for this week. But I couldn't think of anything in the beginning because I realised I grew up reading the Bible. So I was everything was kind of about stories and
Yeah, okay, I see that.
legends and myths. Do you get what I mean?
Hmm.
On that note, I do need to just interject for our regular listeners, viewers. You may have heard me mention a few weeks ago that the Jehovah's Witnesses had knocked on my door. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
And they knocked on the door again the other day because do you remember he gave me his own personal Bible?
Did you ask for it back?
Well, he didn't ask for it back, but he did
Oh.
present to me a brand new cellophane wrapped Bible.
How much did it cost?
They don't charge anymore for their literature.
Oh.
They don't charge anymore, but I did give him his Bible back and they were both stood there smiling at me because I had said to him, when you come back, if you come back over the Christmas period, I'll be off. I'll have you in for a cup of tea.
Yes.
Well, I obviously working, so I can't have them in for a cup of tea. But I had done quite a bit of research and I told them in no uncertain terms, I said, I just need to lay this out here. I will not be joining the Jehovah's Witnesses as an organisation. They are not an organisation that I wish to be part
Okay.
of. And anyway, so there was back and forth. There was scriptures quoted at me and I was like, I'm not questioning the scriptures. I'm questioning how the scriptures are being used because I think
Right.
you're being used. But anyway, they kind of left. I was very, very polite, but very, very assertive. I was like, you
Okay.
will not change my mind. Like, this one thing I'd absolutely been sure of. Well, there's a knock on the door yesterday, and I was in a meeting, and Ashley can see on the camera, he had come back with a bunch of flowers. And I asked Ashley to get the door, and he would. So we had a little bit of a row about that. But yeah, he's come back with flowers. He's a very sweet man. He's 90. I feel absolutely terrible, but it's. I don't know what else you're meant to do. Even being.
Yeah, but you don't know his intention at that point as well. He might have been, I don't know, he might have just been saying, I don't know.
I'm sorry for I
don't think he would have been saying sorry, but I think he could have said, thank you for taking the time to
could have done.
look into it, and I respect your opinion. And I can't believe he didn't answer the door and he had flowers. It makes me feel awful.
I know. I'm sorry.
My
Secondhand,
emotions are like,
secondhand empathy. Is that a thing?
oh,
It's
that's
awful, isn't it?
horrible. Why did he not open the door, for fuck's sake?
Well, because we had an argument about it. I said, please take one for the team because I can't go to the door. Anyway, he didn't, and it's fine. But I did. It's terrible. 90 years of age, and he stood there with a bunch of flowers.
That's
I
awful.
know.
That's awful. That how I feel right now is how I feel when no one buys an ice cream from the ice cream man.
Is it as
And
bad
he's
as you
just sat
felt?
there.
Is it as bad as you felt when the mouse died?
That was horrific. I'm traumatized from that. I sent you the picture of the other one as well, didn't I?
Yeah.
That I looked dead in the eyes, and I realised the blood that was on my carpet had come from its ruptured eyeballs that I stared into. Honestly, I can't. I literally will cry my eyes out. It's awful. I can't talk about it.
Okay, we'll cover it on another podcast, but just to basically, long story short, Ellie's cat is mental at the moment and is catching mice at the rate of I don't know what. Is the bell working?
We didn't go and get one.
Oh no!
Didn't get the bell. He always had a bell on his collar. I noticed the other day that it had fallen off, and I thought, well, that explains why.
There's so many
He's
dead
bringing
mice.
mice in. But someone made a joke to Loz, and because we said, oh, we're going to buy a new bell, and they said, oh, well, bless him, his tinnitus has only just stopped. So now I feel bad for the cat because he's ringing every time he walks somewhere.
How do you know he's got tinnitus?
Well, no, he doesn't, obviously, but it's
Oh.
obviously a ringing sound. So he's now had a break. He's
I
now
never
had a
thought of that before. They're just going around jingling all the time.
jingling. So now I feel bad that he's now had a break that he's not jingling. I don't want to make him jingle again. But he keeps bringing in mice. And basically, long story short, I'll go into it in more detail another day, but this poor mouse was stuck in this room that I'm currently in. There's a chest of drawers right there. He was underneath that. The mouse actually somehow managed to climb into Loz's brand new PC that cost a lot of money.
Mm.
So at that point, it's like, let's just kill the flipping thing. But I'm like, no, I can't. It goes against my moral compass. I have to rescue this mouse. Rescue it, take it outside, go to release it, and it's not moving. It's dragging its back legs across these twigs. And I'm like, I think I've paralyzed it somehow. And I let it out, and then it literally just goes, it starts absolutely fitting. Like there's no tomorrow. And I'm sat there literally like, oh, what do I do? And it literally went. So it needs a BAFTA, to be honest, because if it's not well, it will be dead now because it's in a carrier bag in my wheelie bin.
Oh, God.
Because I thought I don't want to leave him there and someone else, another cat come along and take it, or this fucking cat, bring it back in, but dead. And then the other day, he brings in another one, but this one's dead. It's midnight, Saturday night. I'm going to bed. I walk up the stairs. How I didn't stand on it, first of all, I don't know. Because you know when you stand on a slug and it pops underneath your foot and you feel it and it's disgusting.
Snails are the worst, yeah, the crunch.
Or the crunch. I don't know how I didn't stand on it because the whole way upstairs is really quite small.
Right.
And then I literally turn the light on. I turn around and I'm like, there's another one. And its eyeballs were ruptured. It was awful. I feel so sorry for them because they die from fear.
Oh, don't.
They actually die from fear. It sends them into like cardiac arrest, which is what I think I did to that last one, which was why it was like fitting out.
Well,
and then he literally just went, his mouth was shut, and then he went.
He actually did that.
He did, and he was all like this.
Oh,
he was all
no,
like,
don't. I actually
think
like
Loz-
mice. I'm not scared of mice. I actually
I'm
think they're
not.
very cute.
Well, it depends on the situation, but I think it was Loz paralysed it, to be honest, not me, because he had it like half caught in a tub.
Okay.
It was actually a loaf tin.
All right.
It was actually a loaf tin. I said, run downstairs and get something there.
A loaf tin.
A loaf tin. Of all the things, he brought it upstairs. I'm like, what the hell are you going to do? Can't even see in it. So how do I even know if the mouse is inside?
Oh, God. Well, can I just say,
Anyway.
I'm feeling much better about Daniel now because I think that is far worse.
Well, I feel terrible for Daniel, to be honest.
Okay. Well, Daniel, if you're watching, I am very sorry.
Yeah, Daniel stood outside the door just with a bunch of flowers waiting for you. Funny how his missus went there, though.
Well, I don't think he has one. That other lady was a
I
friend.
thought that was his wife.
No, it was a friend. Right, so terrifying things then, mice leads us nicely into things that terrified you as a kid. So do you want to kick off proceedings?
I have got quite a long list. Should we do one each?
Go on then. I don't really think I've got that many, but go for it.
I'm going to start off strong.
Okay.
So let's just go back to the Bermuda Triangle quickly. When I learnt about the Bermuda Triangle, I was in primary school. I remember it quite vividly, actually.
So you actually taught it like a lesson? So your teacher
not taught it like a lesson, but it was mentioned in a lesson.
Right.
We must have been learning about mythology, or even though the Bermuda Triangle is a real thing.
Yeah.
But then the teacher or someone said, oh yeah, things go missing. And then obviously the more you learn about it, you're like, I'm going to fall into it and I'm going to go missing. And then as you get older, you realise, no, it's actually thousands of miles away. I'm going to be fine. And even, when things fly near it but they don't fly over it, do they? Which I find interesting. They fly around it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they don't fly over it. I think they go, or they try not to or something. So the Bermuda Triangle actually was quite scary to me as a kid. And you just think like every time you go on a plane or every time you're on a boat, it's just going to be this hole in this ocean that you're going to see. But obviously it's actually in the middle of nowhere. One from when I was a kid that makes me feel the same way was Quicksand.
I've got Quicksand.
Have you?
Yeah.
Why do they, no one tells you that actually if you fall into quicksand, it's pretty quick, but it's not like you. You don't just
You just feel like you go,
you just feel like,
just be a hand.
literally, you feel like it's going to happen so quickly. Like you're going to stand in it and you're just going to go bye like that.
I mean,
But
do
it's
you
not
not?
that quick.
Is it not? Because I'm still quite terrified of quicksand.
I know it's fast, but it's not. And the more it's a bit like a bog. The more you struggle, the more you sink in. But it's not literally like you stand on it and you instantly, unless there's different types.
I don't know. Where did you then? So where did you get your fear of quicksand from then?
I don't actually know where the quicksand one comes from, but I just know it's just a scary thing. It must be movies and things. As a
Well,
kid,
when I was a kid, your grandmother used to, on our way to infant school, which is the school near your auntie, we walked kind of like through this wood, and it must have been my dad said, "Don't go near that boggy bit because that's quicksand." And I don't, to this day, actually, do you know what I'm going to do when we go down on Friday? I'm actually going to walk in the woods and find if it is real quicksand. Why have I never done that?
oh
all
yeah,
these
good
years?
point. Let's do that.
Because at the age of 5 or 4, when I was being walked to school, I was told that was quicksand, and I've been terrified of it ever since. But I'm just intrigued where you've got it from.
I don't know. I think it must be films or something. But
Yeah.
the idea of quicksand. Someone's obviously told me about it.
Yeah.
But
it must have.
it's actually petrifying. But it's not.
is
You don't
petrifying.
literally stand in it and then like go dip. Well, I've looked at videos on TikTok and that doesn't happen.
Have you ever known of anyone that's died? Actually, how would
No.
anyone know that someone's died in quicksand?
If you're next to the quicksand and you watch them go under and they don't come back out again.
Yeah, okay, that's a very good point. You certainly wouldn't be going in after them to rescue them, would you? Okay, right.
Well,
I've got that one.
Right, next one I've got is, and I haven't done these like, Mary Celeste. Do you know what that is?
I know of Bloody Mary.
No. That's a good one though.
That is a good one. That used to terrify me as a kid.
Yeah, same. We used to do it at
Mary
sleepovers as well.
Celeste. Did you actually do it?
No, I think we got to like Bloody Mary, and then it's like, ah! I couldn't say it again.
Turn the lights on. Right, sorry. We'll come back to that one. Mary Celeste. I don't
Turn the lights on. I'm scared. Because then you'd always have one that was like, I saw it, and you'd be like, no, you're lying. Obviously, now we're older, we know that they're lying. Mary Celeste is a ship from a long time ago that turned up that was like basically in perfect condition, but didn't have any single member of crew on it. And it was a family. There was like a rich family, so they say, on the ship, and it was just completely empty, but like everything was like, there was like, cups on the table, and there was like crockery or cutlery, I don't know, whatever they would have used back then,
like
but
a real
they had
ship.
an actual ship, yeah.
Oh.
But like a wooden old ship, like think of pirate ship, like back in the day.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like everything was left, like the clothes were there, but there was just no people, so there was no signs of like an attack or that the ship had like fallen over or anything like that. Just literally completely everybody was gone, but everything was left untouched.
And
Which,
do we know anything about it? Like what year is this? What century?
Oh, I can probably find out. So it must be 1800, surely.
And where was it? In this country?
ChatGPT, the old friends.
I'll have a sip of my water.
The Mary Celeste, was found drifting in the Atlantic Ocean near the Azores Islands off the coast of Portugal in December 1872.
Not that long ago then. Really.
No crew aboard, cargo still intact, food, water and personal items were left behind. It had departed from New York and was heading to Italy.
And we don't know to this day where anybody is. Was anybody ever found? I'm asking too many questions.
No, literally, that is the scary part. No one was found. It was only personal items that were left behind. Literally, they'd all vanished.
How strange.
Isn't it?
Can you still see it? Is it being preserved, the ship? Can you still go and see it? I'd like to go and see that.
I don't think so.
Oh. Quite fascinated by old ships. They're
Yeah,
quite
I am as well,
there's
actually.
something quite haunting about them, especially, like when you go, is
No.
it Portsmouth or Southampton, where you go to can't remember the name of the boats. I'm rubbish with stuff like that. All right then, Mary Celeste, that is a good one.
Oh, interesting. Sorry, 2 seconds. This actually says, no, it's not possible to go and see the Mary Celeste as a ship today. The famous ghost ship was intentionally run aground on a reef off the coast of Haiti in 1885 by its final captain to commit insurance fraud and was left to deteriorate.
Oh.
No, because the original one happened in 1872
Oh,
and
okay.
then in 1885,
Right.
who knows?
Who knows? Okay.
Who knows? But very strange.
Very strange.
What have you got? Because I've got a few, but they're not so mythical or haunty.
Have you heard of the vanishing hitchhiker?
No.
So this apparently goes back even thousands of years, and it's been retold all around the world. So you think, well, could there be something in it? But it's essentially on the lines of people are driving along, they pick up a hitchhiker's in the back of their car, suddenly just vanishes.
Oh my God, I've got goosebumps. Yes, I have heard about this.
They don't know where they've gone,
Yeah.
but often they will leave behind an item.
Yes.
And then they're tracked down. So like they'll go and track the family down or something for the family to say, oh, they're dead. They've
They
died. They're
died
not,
yeah.
Actually giving you goosebumps.
Yeah, I've got proper goosebumps from that. Oh my God.
But it's
yeah,
so
I have
weird.
heard that. That is really, really strange,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Apparently,
Wow.
there's a road in Hampshire.
Yes.
Did I send this to you the other day?
No, I know about this. Is this where you take the handbrake off and it climbs up the hill?
Don't know about that one. What's that one?
Oh, well, one of my ex-boyfriends actually told me about it. It's apparently now it's to do with gravity and some kind of whatever the pressure is or some science shit like that.
Right.
But I think it's called Ghost Hill.
Ghost
And
Hill.
basically, people record it. They get out of their cars and you leave the car in neutral and it climbs up the hill. It actually goes upwards instead of backwards.
How
And
strange.
yeah, I know. Someone's done a science thing on it. Say, oh, it's a load of, crock of shit. It's not haunted.
Right.
But I thought that's what you were talking about. It's called Ghost Hill or something.
Oh, no. Apparently in Hampshire somewhere there's a particular road and people regularly see ghost like figures walking in the road.
Really?
Yeah. Because I thought,
Wow, I want to go there.
we should do it. And I thought
Yeah.
maybe we could go and spend some nights in some haunted hotels and things. Because you've got the gift and we need to see if you sense anything.
Yeah, but I don't. I think the haunted stuff is mainly bad spirits, they say, isn't it? It's not,
Yeah, well,
I think it's more the demonic.
maybe. But the vanishing hitchhiker has been told so many times in so many different forms around the world that it's actually been put into something called Borgman's classification system. It was graded into so many different things. So it was someone that left something, didn't leave something. Anyway, all these different scenarios. So someone had to actually grade it all. But I thought that was actually quite.
Wow.
There must be something in that because someone wrote a book on it. I think it was this Borgman person. Thought it was quite interesting. Right, let's talk about Bloody Mary then. So what was
that's really interesting. That I really like that.
Very. So Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
When I did it at school, you had to stand in your bathroom and look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Do you know what I've just realised? We only had one mirror, and that was in the bathroom as a kid. Isn't that weird? I think that's probably why it had to be.
That is true. Actually, at school, there's only a mirror in the bathroom.
Yeah. So anyway, you'd have to be in the bathroom, look in the mirror, and I remember you had to brush your hair.
Yeah.
3 times as you say, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
I don't say it a third time just in case.
But
I've
yeah,
got a mirror right behind me. I'd rather.
and then apparently she appears.
Yeah, but some people said she's a doll. Some people said it's like a young. I feel a bit eerie now. Actually, I don't like that door's open. some people say she's a doll, some people say it's like a young girl, some people say it's a woman, she's got like cuts and stuff all over her. So I don't
Oh.
actually I don't actually know, and I don't want to find out,
No,
put
but
it
you
that
are
way.
actually someone that sees dead people, so this is quite
Yeah, I don't like.
horrendous.
Can we
We
move?
haven't planned this one out, have we not?
I actually might have to go and shut that door because I'm scared. My friend Molly was around here last weekend, and we were talking about like some freaky stuff that we've seen, and literally we were both sat there like, oh, I've got goosebumps, and then she was like, oh, now I've got goosebumps, like, and we just kept talking about these things like that we've seen or heard. Because I've seen someone walking up the stairs in her house, I literally swear to God, and they hear people walking in their house, and it's just them. And when she mentioned it to me, I said, I have seen, because it's her and her boyfriend. They've got a four-bedroom house, lovely house, quite a big house. And it was the day they moved in, I helped them move, and I helped them clean like the kitchen and stuff. And I thought that her boyfriend had gone up the stairs. So I was like, oh, Tony, because from the kitchen you see the stairs. So I was like, oh, Tony, trying to talk to him. And then he wasn't up there, he was downstairs. And I went back into the kitchen and I was like, oh my God, not to scare you, but I'm not joking. I've literally seen someone walk up the stairs.
Right, I'm going to ask you this
Yeah.
because this is fascinating, right? Because
Mm.
I know you and I know that you're the real deal and you're genuine. And I know that, no, but what I'm trying to say is,
Who knows?
you know, it's very hard though, isn't it? To, when you hear that people have seen whatever you've seen, I know you, I trust you. So I know that you're not imagining
No, I'm
this.
not.
So what are you seeing? Because it's such a, I want, you know, sometimes I'm driving on my own, or even the other night, Ashley was driving us back from Cricklade. We went and had a pint.
Yeah.
And you know, you're driving around that windy road. And sometimes I'm like, please let me see a ghost. I want to see a ghost. And I'm really looking and scanning the road. And
What?
I just really want to see one. And I've never seen one. What do they look like? Like, what are you seeing?
Well, I've seen like, I've had they're not really, they're kind of like figures, I guess you could say, but some are a bit like shadows. And I've seen a couple that, well, I think I've seen, I'm not crazy, that they're not white, they're not grey, but they're like, it's a bit like static that you see on the telly. You know, when you get that white and black and grey mix of like the static on the telly.
But is it
Do you
like,
know what I mean?
so it's like static, but in the shape or form of a person?
It's kind of like a merge of those colours, and they're not they are kind of in the shape of people, but it's very plain, you know, you can't see features, there's no hair, there's
Right.
no kind of like, they don't really have any structure. It's kind of just like a round thing that you can make out is maybe somebody. It's not
And
like an actual person.
but is it the size of a
It's the
person?
size of a person, yeah.
Right.
So it's
Oh.
but it's not like, you know, well, what I saw when I used to live in my flat, which was actually built on an old hospital grounds,
Where you were born?
where I was born, I did see a man sat on the sofa, but he wasn't like sat on the sofa back. He was like perched on the edge, and it's also weird because you can kind of feel that they're a man. It's really weird to describe, and he was just kind of perched on the edge, and I
Yeah.
saw him like that, and then when I looked again, he was gone.
Right.
But
What is so interesting about that one is your flat. So when we're talking about you've seen someone perched on your sofa, where were you?
In the kitchen coming
In the
out.
kitchen. Right. So we're talking about a modestly sized 2-bedroom flat.
Yeah,
Kitchen directly next to the lounge.
It
It's
goes
not like,
into the living room, yeah.
we're not talking about some New York loft apartment where
No.
so the proximity would be what, 2 meters to you, to the
2 meters, yeah.
yeah. So that
would be it, I would say.
so when you say sorry, because I just find it absolutely fascinating. So when you're that close, what
Yeah.
are you seeing?
Well, I've never seen it like direct on. It's always been kind of, you
Periphery.
see it and you look, and it kind of like, you then feel that it's there rather than see that it's there. Because I had it once, again, in the kitchen in my flat. I was making dinner, and I lived with my ex at the time, and he didn't used to finish work until like 5 o'clock. And I was working from home at the time, and I remember it being about 3:00, and I was making a lasagna. I don't work there anymore, so it doesn't matter if I can say that. I was making a lasagna like 3:00 in the afternoon, and I felt someone behind me, and I went, "Oh my God, you're home early," and turned around, and then there was literally like nobody there, but I could feel the presence, and it was male energy again. I've never actually had female energy yet, I don't think. I'm
How
not
do you know
sure.
then? How do you know it's male energy?
I don't know. You just get this feeling of like, it's really hard to describe. You just get this feeling, like this vibe that, and obviously like the shapes of them. So you just kind of know that it is. You kind of know that it is. It's weird, you know. Me and Loz, not that long ago, we went to see Kerry Mucklow's house, or from this country, because we love it.
Oh yeah.
So we drove around like the village, and we went to look up there, and we went on a really nice walk because there's a church there and like a graveyard. And Loz doesn't really, you know, we don't talk about it. He definitely doesn't see anything, and he didn't believe me before. But we walked. Well, not believe me, but I just think he, you know, if you're
It's
not,
a hard thing to.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we walk through the graveyard, and I'm looking at people's gravestones, and I'm like, oh, that's Andrea, you know, that's whatever. And there's this one specific grave on the right-hand side when you go in, and it's quite a big one, like a really old gravestone. You know, they used to be like massive back in the
Yeah.
day, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it's under this tree, and I just went, oh, hello, John, how are you? And as soon as I said that, there was all these birds in the tree, and they literally started going, ah, 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 like all these crows.
Right.
And it really freaked Loz out, and I thought, completely could be a fluke. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's other people in there. We weren't alone in there. It was a nice sunny day. It wasn't like a, you know, haunty looking day or whatever you'd say.
Yeah.
So we're walking around and we're looking around. Everything's fine. And then there is a way out round the back, but it takes you like right round the back of the village. And we were like,
Right.
oh no, we don't want to do that whole massive walk. That's not what we're here for. Because we hadn't seen Kerry Mucklow's house yet. I can't believe we went there for that.
Well, I went to the O'May's house to take a picture of it and put the drone up over it in the hope that I would win it.
Exactly. And then, yeah, as we walked back out, I said it again. I said, oh, goodbye, John. Nice to see you. And then the birds again were going,
They did it again.
again. And I thought, I didn't really feel anything that time. So I thought maybe that was a bit of a fluke. But I remember Loz, bless him, he's like, don't do that again. Don't do that again. I said, well, I'd just like to say, you know, hello. Or like when I was talking to Molly the other day, she said, you know, sometimes I feel like this energy around me. And I said, well, when I feel that energy, I always just say, like, I don't know who you are, but as long as you're going to be nice, you know, you can stay. I've got no problem with that, because it could be anybody. We don't know, which is my point.
No.
I could be completely batshit crazy. I could be absolutely making it up. Oh my God, are we actually recording?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, good. Sorry, I just looked at the thing and it just says, doesn't give me a
When
timer.
you just went, oh my God, I thought I thought you'd just seen something or something.
No,
oh my God,
no, it
this
doesn't
is
work
horrendous.
like that. I'm not one of them. I'm not, I can't.
It's coming through. They're coming through.
But like a lot of mediums, whatever, you know,
Mediums.
medium. Oh God.
I think it is mediums. Yeah, mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say then?
Medians, I think.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I
I don't know what I said. Probably the wrong one. But you can't really see it on demand or feel it on demand.
Yeah.
The proper ones, I mean. Whatever the proper ones are, who
Yeah.
knows? But I know what I've seen. And there was one time as well in the flat, I'll say this quickly. I remember saying this to you. My ex had moved out, thank fuck. Anyway, I was there on my own. And I was trying to go to sleep one night. And where the bedroom was, it was at the end of the corridor. So you couldn't see the front door from the corridor. But if you were to step out of the room, it would then be in front of you. And there was one night I was trying to sleep and I could not for the life of me sleep. And I thought, I just feel funny. But obviously, you know, bit of a traumatic breakup. I thought, am I just anxious, or like, is there really something that's freaking me out?
Yeah.
And all I remember, I couldn't see it, but I could feel this grey. It was very grey and it was cloudy. A little bit like, have you watched that Behind Her Eyes?
Oh, yeah.
And you know those like
That
cloud
was good.
things that are around? It was a little bit like that, but not
Right.
as, like that looked a bit electric
Mm.
in that series. It was just very cloudy and very grey. And I just remember feeling that it was behind that section of the door that I couldn't see. And I kept getting out of bed and checking there was nothing there. And I don't like sleeping with the door closed. Well, I didn't at the time.
Right, yeah.
But it's weird. It's like you can feel it. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can feel it. And my last example of that, sorry, now I'm waffling on. My dad's
No.
girlfriend, she used to live in a house that used to back on to an old church with an old cemetery.
Oh, I forgot you saw someone.
Well, we all did. So we used to call him the peeping man.
Just to warn you, if you are listening to this podcast on your own,
Yes.
especially in the dark, and you can get slightly scared about things, then maybe don't.
Trigger
listen to this
warning.
episode. Trigger
Well,
warning.
The worst part of this is Loz is not going to be home until like 6 a.m. So that's
I
me
was
going to
going
bed
to- I
on my
know.
own tonight.
I was going to say this is horrific.
Protect me. No, the last one I'll say is we used to call him the peeping man. So she had a house that backed onto a cemetery, like where the garden was. And in her living room that used to go into her dining room, she had an archway.
Oh, I hate this bit.
And she'd always said to us before, like, oh, the peeping man, haha. Like sometimes you see someone pop their head around the corner like that and he'll look at you. And when you go to look at him, you watch him go like that. He goes back.
Horrendous.
And I got goosebumps talking about it. And we were all sat watching TV. Harry was there. My brother was there. The dog used to do some really weird shit in that house as well. Like she would chase stuff that wasn't even there. That was weird. My two stepsisters, we're all sat there and we're watching TV. And the TV was in the corner and I'm sat on this sofa. So the arch is in front of me.
Oh, don't.
And literally, I see this man. Got to check the door quickly, make sure nothing's there. I see this head come round all the way around the corner like that and peep at us. And I look like that, and I literally watched this. He was black, completely like a shadow. Go back, really pull himself quickly like that, and we all looked at each other in the room and were like, "Did you just see that?" And every single one of us, there's 6 of us, 5 of us. How many is that?
All saw it.
We all saw him. And it was very scary. I've got very big goosebumps on me.
I am even creeped out by that.
We all saw it.
The peeping,
So-
and I think it's the name as well, the peeping man.
Well, because he would do this really weird thing. He would like stretch. It's like he stretched his head around the corner.
Oh, Ellie, it's like a
Ugh.
horror
I
film.
know,
It's
I'm
like,
on my own now. I've got to stop.
All right,
talking
stop.
about that.
Get the cat.
Oh, I'll be fine. That's what you have to do. I just have to say, whatever it is, just be nice to me. I'm not going to do anything bad to you if you won't do anything bad to me. Put it that way.
Well, they wouldn't want to mess with you anyway. But all right, let's try and
I don't have a cross. He's like burning with the cross or something.
Well,
What people do.
just to lighten it. Then, if we go back to Bloody Mary, I saw. I went on.
Oh
a
yeah,
Reddit.
let's go back to more haunted.
This is the nature of this podcast. I'm terrified of. But I went looking through the Reddit threads, and somebody had mentioned Bloody Mary, and it just reminded me of what your brother would have done to you. So they said Bloody Mary still gives me the creeps, and I'm 26. My younger brother knew it scared me, so he'd shove me in the bathroom, turn the light off. He'd shove me in the bathroom, turn the lights off, and say Bloody Mary while holding the door closed so I couldn't get out. Could you imagine how terrifying
Oh, my brother would do that to me as well.
that would be? Jesus Christ. Have you heard of the Lantern Men?
That sounds scary. No.
Okay, so I'll read this one then. So someone said they're from rural northeast Bedfordshire, and their nan always told them about the lamp men or lantern men.
Is this scary?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I don't.
petrified.
Can I just say, nothing actually sounds scary after Peeping Man, so
Yeah,
we're good.
true.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's because my eye's next to a door.
Close it.
Oh, I'm scared.
No, we have to carry. We have to carry. We're committed.
All right, let me just put the light on out
There
there.
we go. Go on.
Remember though that when you mention stuff, your brain will think that you've seen stuff, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
even though
Mm.
not on those occasions. But I
No,
used to,
don't.
well, I'm not going to go into any more detail. I also used to see this little girl as well when I was little, and
Oh, the
she was
girl
really
on the...
scary. Yeah.
You definitely see things, because I think the thing is, it's not you're not you can't be imagining it, because unless you're schizophrenic, but you can't be imagining it
Maybe I'm
because
schizophrenic.
you're seeing it, and also it's that thing about the feeling, like I
Yeah,
don't
you
think
feel it as well. It's not. It's really. I mean, so I don't know how other people experience it. I guess everyone's different, but it's more the feeling that is scary than the actual seeing it. If that makes sense.
Oh, we've so got to go and stay in a haunted place.
I'll be
No,
scarred for life.
I'm
I'm the same girl, by the way, that would literally pin my eyes open at night time because I used to watch Most Haunted, which we all know is fake. Well,
is it Yvette? I do like Yvette. I grew up with Yvette Fielding.
I
I'd be
do.
so sad if that was.
I
Who was
think
her and Carl?
they maybe over exaggerate it, don't
Well,
they?
that
I mean,
Derek
who knows?
Akora, I mean, he.
Yeah,
when
he's
you-
actually like.
When you watch him back, it's unbelievable people bought into that. But Lantern Men. So imagine this is your gran, though. So this is someone's nan telling a child, never ever go towards a light you see in the distance of the bridleway or the footpath. So this was like a woody, foresty thing, right? Because it's
Why am I alone tonight?
Because it's the lamp men. They try to lure you towards them so they can strangle you. And she said, similarly, never use a torch when you're out and about in the countryside, because you'll attract one and it will begin to close in on you. If you realise what you've done too late and you see a light in the distance, leave your torch on the ground and fucking leg it. And also, don't whistle at all past twilight. Lamp men hate whistling and they'll follow you home with a vengeance if they hear it. I never whistle for my dog to this very day because of the stories of the lamp men.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny. I mean, I know people make stuff up, but like, I'm either just not creative at all, because I just wouldn't be able to come up with stories like that.
Well, I did ask, like, I was trying to research it, like, where do all these tales come from? Because they kind of get replicated around the world, but it was just sort of saying that it's kind of a mixture of all those, like, your fears, trying to, warnings and all of this kind of thing. So I just thought it was really interesting. I mean, we've all had of a Loch Ness Monster. I've actually been to Loch Ness. We did extreme tourism. We drove past it, ran in a shop. Ashley bought a Loch Ness Monster cuddly toy, which I couldn't find. I was going to put it out.
You got the fridge magnet as well, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got a fridge magnet as well, which we smashed on the floor. So he's in 3 pieces now.
I thought that was the point of it.
Well, yeah, but he's meant to be one piece. He's now 3 pieces. So Lantern Men, Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah, can we have some like funny ones now?
All right, then. So what? Go on then. What terrified you as a kid?
Right, I saw. My dad must have been watching the film Spice World, where the man comes out the toilet. Have you seen that?
I don't think I've ever watched that film. In all honesty, God.
It's terrifying. He literally comes out of at one point.
No,
it's not train spotting.
Oh, is it not
train spotting? I knew you were going to say that. It's not.
Calm down.
Because train spotting, he's like a heroin addict, isn't he? He looks a bit grubby. The guy from Spice World, he's like, but he's bold. He's got like a suit on. He's got glasses. He is literally climbing out the toilet. I'll show you that, and that scared the shit out of me. And I researched this one earlier, and there's a lot of women on Reddit that are saying I used to give myself UTIs as a kid because it scared me so much that I would not go to the toilet. I'd hold it for as long as I could, and I never used to give myself that, but I would for a while hold it for as long as I could because I'd be so scared to go to the toilet. It didn't last very long.
Was it actually a scary scene? Was it meant to be like a scary scene? Or was
it's supposed to be creepy, I think. I don't think it was supposed to be scary. But he's scary. He looks really creepy. He looks a bit like
are filthy.
It's a bit like a paedophile. It's the nicest way I can put it. Look, here you go. Show you. You'll see it now. Look. He comes out the toilet like that.
Oh yeah, I know. Isn't that I'm sure I can't
Is
remember
that
his
not
name.
weird?
Yes, no, it is weird. Yeah, yeah. If I was a kid, that would freak me out. Do you know what that reminds me of? When I was a kid, I had a recurring dream,
Mm.
and I don't know how many years it happened, but it's stuck with me to this day. So I probably was about 4 or 5, and I was always with my gran, who lived in that block of flats
Yeah.
in Dulwich in London. But she would either be walking around down the bottom of the flats, or she would be walking around the garden that was on the house that I actually lived in as a child. And I would always be walking with her. So we would just be walking along a road, and there used to be this green man that used to lie on the floor and slither like a snake. And he'd try,
Ugh.
and I can still see him to this day. He was like this slithery man, and he used to just slither like a snake, green, everything green, but 100% a man. And I always remember being absolutely petrified. I was like, oh my gosh, he's coming to get me. And I never liked that thing, like near your legs. We said before on a podcast where you just
Yeah.
get up in the middle of the night and you're scared something's going to grab your legs.
Grab your leg. That's why you have a bed that goes to the floor, like what we have, so that doesn't happen.
Exactly. I wonder if, though, as a child, there was like a slithery. I must have watched a film with like a slithery character in it or something.
Yeah, it must be something. It's difficult to put your finger on it, isn't it? Like what certain fears, like what it is that scared you. And I'm not joking you. When I have kids and they go, "Mummy, there's a monster under my bed," I'll be like, "What? You to go and look then."
Well, there's the other ones then. So when you always got told the stories of the girl that put her hand under the bed or something, and the dog, or she thought the dog was licking her hand, and
No, I can't.
they find out it wasn't a dog, it was a person, and all of that kind of stuff.
That shit is scary.
Right,
It's
sorry,
scary because it's creepy.
I know it is creepy. I believed in trolls, and to this day, I'm still a little bit wary. I'm still a bit wary of going over bridges. I do peep over them, just because I think when we were a kid, there was a book called was it the Three Trolls or something?
Oh, it's the yeah. I can't remember what it's called. I was watching something the other day that mentioned this, and I was like,
it's the Billy Goat Scruff.
That's it, Billy Goat
That was
Scruff.
the Billy Goat Scruff from the troll.
That's it.
That terrified me as a kid.
Yeah,
that story.
I think that scared me as a kid actually.
But again,
why are we doing so much scary stuff to children? What the heck?
Well, that's probably a rabbit hole we could go down.
Probably.
I also they were like myths. So like, don't suck your hair because it will all bind up in your stomach. Do you remember that one?
Don't bite. Yeah, don't bite your
my hair.
nails. And that's someone told me at primary school. No, you should. My mum said you shouldn't bite your nails, and I was like, why? And they're like, because when you swallow them, they all land on your heart, and it's really bad for you.
I've never heard that one. That's quite terrifying.
I remember being in assembly as well. Yeah, and I was a bit like, oh, what do you mean they all land on your heart? Obviously, they don't.
Oh my God, that's horrible. We eat 12 spiders a year. Do you believe that one?
That is not true.
Is it not?
I've googled that. Apparently, it's not true. I just don't see why that would be true. No, it can't be.
Because I don't even want to go there because I don't want to wake up having evidence that I have actually eaten a spider in the night.
Oh no!
But the most disgusting thing happened the other day. I went into the kitchen and there was this little black mark on the kitchen tiles. I was like, "What's that?" It was a woodlouse crawling. Disgusting. Right, your favourite one, because I used to say this to you all the time. Don't crack your knuckles; it'll give you arthritis. Because you were always.
I can do it now.
No, please don't. Oh, Ellie, it's disgusting. It's actually disgusting.
And this is a new one Loz taught me.
Oh, stop it. That is vile. Did you know, so the one about chewing gum, it would stay in your stomach for 7 years and could kill you. That's not true. If you ate watermelon seeds, you'd grow a watermelon tree in your stomach.
For me, that was an apple tree. You can't eat, it was always an apple tree. Then you can't eat the seeds, you'll grow an apple tree inside. That was actually pretty scary as a kid as well. Because you could actually picture like a whole tree inside you.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Although I will share this story because we're talking about apples, it feels relevant. When I was at secondary school, so I can't even say this is when I was little. At secondary school, I think I was about 13. And I was a bit of a freak, and I just used to hang around with people that would hang around with me. And it was definitely an attention-seeking thing.
Terrible.
But I'd be eating an apple, and I would just eat the whole apple. The core, the pips.
You know that, it's nothing.
That is what I would do. 'Cause they used to even go to me, "Oh my God, why are you eating the whole apple?" And I'd be like, "What? It's normal." Honestly, I was
Knowing
so
full
tragic.
well.
But then you, for hours afterward, during your next lesson, you're still trying to chew this shitty piece of wood.
It's like the kernels at the bottom of the popcorn bag, isn't it? It's like, I don't mind eating like a couple of them, but after a while, then you're picking kernel out your teeth still.
Oh dear.
Hours later.
I have got one thing I want to
still
share,
have a few.
actually. Right, heard people talking about this thing called, oh no, someone jokingly said, you know, talking about like myths. Someone said, I've heard people talking about this thing called the sun. Apparently it only comes out in July and August, but I've never seen any evidence of it. That was quite good.
Love it.
Right, go on, you do some.
I've got being sucked out of a plane. That obviously comes from movies, doesn't it? But being
That has
sucked out...
happened.
Has it? Oh no,
Yeah.
that has happened. You're
That
right. But
woman
I mean,
a few years ago
oh God,
got
I
sucked
really
out
don't
the window.
I'd like to think it's a quick.
I don't know. They were grabbing onto a freight.
Were they?
Yeah, trying to get back in.
Oh God, really don't like that. That's like Final Destination stuff. That is. Wave machines in a swimming pool.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to the end and they're grids. Have you ever touched one with your foot? It's freaking terrifying.
No.
Yeah, so it's grids, like big, look like cages almost.
Right.
And it's obviously some kind of, I don't know, hydraulic, something happens in the grids. But if you wanted to, you could probably swim in one. And it's quite scary because it literally looks like a cage that you'd have like a shark in.
Are you actually meant to be able to access that? Do you
Well,
think?
no, you're not. I don't. Obviously, it'd be quite difficult too. But I can imagine, like, you know, if this pool wasn't busy.
I do remember the wave machine, right? And as a kid,
you just would never want to go too far to the front.
Well, I did, but the amount of times I swear, sorry, my nose is so itchy.
Yeah, look, they're like this. Maybe you couldn't swim in it. It's like that.
Oh God, yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, you
scary.
expected to see Jaws come through or something.
That's my next one.
But the wave machines, I wasn't a particularly strong swimmer. I never have been. But I swear I've come very close to drowning in those waves.
That's terrible.
No, honestly, I actually think they're quite dangerous. Like,
the Tenerife one's really famous at Siam Park, where we actually went when I was younger.
Oh yeah.
And that one's really famous because it's really, really strong. So people get like wiped out. I think someone's actually died from that.
Really? Did you go in it?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah,
Oh,
only for a
God.
bit though. But it's really, really strong. But that leads on to my other one of why is it when you're a kid and all of a sudden you're in a swimming pool on your own, you instantly think there's a frigging shark in the deep end. There's nothing in there. Yeah, and you get out of the pool and you look in and you're like, right, there's nothing there. But you just have that feeling of like, da-na, da-na. It's like that. It's horrible. You just think there's going to be some sort of horrible fish or shark who's just going to eat you.
But when you were kids, and I would still go swimming with you, that was my thing. Do you remember I used to do that? I used to go da-da, da-da.
Yeah, Harry used to do that to me as well. He used to really annoy me.
Maybe that's why.
Scary.
I'm very sorry about that.
Well, I've spoken to a few people on that. Claire from work, I was talking to her earlier about some of these, and she was like, "Yeah, that one's true. The shark one in the water." So maybe everyone does that.
Yeah, maybe.
Jaws
Well, I think
thing,
we've all watched Jaws.
Yeah,
and
true.
I think even if I watched it today, I would still find it terrifying because it's real. People die from
yeah
eaten by sharks.
Oh, I've got two left. When you'd see a post or someone would say that the world's going to end on this date at this time in this year.
Oh, I'm used to that. Grew up Jehovah's Witness. They've been prophesying.
Oh yeah,
that
true.
Forever.
But when you're a kid, it's like, you know, the world's going to end on the 25th of January 2008, and it gets to 25th of January, and you're like, what time?
Did you actually? Do you actually, as a kid?
when you're a kid, yeah. What year did I say? 2008. I would have been 7. Yeah, that's quite scary,
But
actually.
why is it though, as children, you think of all the things that terrify us? Like, this isn't relevant at all, but I did write
Yeah.
it down. My mum and dad had this massive book on wild animals, because bear in mind, back in the 80s, there was no internet.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cats, dogs. If you went to the zoo, you might see a lion. Well, I remember opening this book, and it was incredible photography. To this day, I still remember like this red-breasted type of bird. You know, you get
A
tinned.
robin.
It wasn't a robin. You know, you get tinned tomatoes, the whole plum tomato, not chopped, a whole plum tomato.
Yeah.
I always remember being freaked out by this bird that had this thing on its chest that literally looked like a whole plum tomato. And that used to really freak me out. But sloths, I saw a
Yeah.
sloth for the first time in this book, and to this day, I can't stand them.
Yeah, you don't like them, do you?
I find them terrifying. I do not like them. They creep
I
me
think
out.
they're quite gentle creatures,
No.
actually.
No.
And they're slow. And they fall out of trees.
Ugh, horrible. Sorry, I hijacked that, but it just reminded me.
No, you're absolutely fine. But no, it's weird, isn't it, when you're a kid? Because stuff is scary, but I feel like your parents try so hard, don't they, to protect you from, the worries. I would say majority of families wouldn't educate kids on money worries from a young age. It's kind of something you learn after.
Yeah.
So naturally, things that you worry about when you're an adult, I haven't thought about the Bermuda Triangle and flipping in years. But when I was a kid, you think of it every day, don't you? Like, well, what if all of a sudden I'm next to it? Like, it's just not going to happen.
But why? But it's so interesting. So that's because you said that, and then that reminded me of the sloth. But I don't ever remember going to my mum, I'm terrified of sloths. You would just go to bed and worry about it on your own as a kid. Like, why do we not? Why don't you reach out for help? You worry about all these things. Like, you're worrying about stuff like the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, but did we say it or did we not say it? Because it's that classic thing, isn't it? Like, your parents are tired. It's always at night time. You start worrying about it.
Probably like, oh, don't be silly, go to sleep.
Don't be silly, go to sleep. I don't remember being at school and thinking of the Bermuda Triangle. I remember trying to go to sleep at night and thinking of the Bermuda Triangle. That's when it was scary,
That's so funny.
My final one then, and
Okay.
last one, and I don't actually know if I should say who it was that used to do this, but you'll know. Those posts on Facebook back in the day where it was like, share this, and it was a picture of a scary girl or something really scary, and you'd be like, if you don't share this to your friends, this girl will be in your room tonight.
Yes.
Do you know who it was that used to do that? And we used to be like, that's not going to happen. Like, stop sharing that.
Do you mean like they were almost like what they would call chain mail? So it'd be like, if you don't forward this message on to 10 of your friends, something bad will happen.
Well, I guess that was one version of it, but it was more pictures of like the girl from, who's the one that's got her hair all over her face?
Oh, off of that film.
Yeah, what's it called?
Oh.
I know it's an S.
Slither? No. Slithering. I know it's not 7. Sinister.
No.
I know the one you mean. It's a really famous film because
I know.
they made a Japanese. It was Japanese, wasn't it, first, and then they made the American.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it called? Can't remember.
Can't remember, but I've got to find it. Hang on.
How did you know about this then? Were you on my
I had
Facebook?
Facebook. What is that famous film of the girl with the hair over her face? It's a scary film.
It comes out the TV, that
I think
one.
you're referring to the movie The Ring.
Oh, The Ring.
The Ring, which came from.
The Ring.
The Ring.
It'd be pictures
Terrifying.
like that, or it'd be like, someone in the shadows or something, and it'd be like, if you don't share this picture, she's going to end up in your room tonight, and like all this scary stuff.
That's terrifying. So who did this person share it with? Like you as a kid?
No, you
or
would just share it on your Facebook.
Right,
Or like,
okay.
I think it was only Facebook that you had at the time, and I did used to use your Facebook, and then I had my own Facebook.
Okay.
But like, I'm just going to say it was my brother he would always share them on Facebook. Do you not remember? He used to.
Under a secret name?
No, he would actually share them with his name, which is why we'd be like, you've got to stop doing that because she's not going to end up in your room. Maybe we shouldn't admit this bit, but he would, or he'd share like loads of stuff like that. And I used to come.
Oh, it's coming back to me now, but he didn't do it maliciously. He was terrified.
He was terrified.
Something bad was going to happen.
She was going to be in his room.
Yeah.
He actually thought if he didn't share the Facebook post, he'd be looking at the end of the bed and she'd be there from the room.
I forgot all about that because we're
Yeah.
like, I cannot post this stuff. It's not real.
No, it's not real. Or it'd be like, you know that game you play, the scary game, where you got to get the ball through the things, and then after a couple of there's that phase comes up, which is from, well, they do it in Scary Movie as well, don't they?
Yeah.
That would be on there, and I'd be like, that's not bloody real. Do you know what I mean? Or it'd be like the one where she's crawling on the ceiling.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and he wouldn't be doing it to like get everyone else to be scared. He would be the one that was flipping petrified.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it. I thought it was going to be something like it was someone, because that memory has gone out of my brain. I'd forgotten all about that.
Do you know, I had one once actually though, and it was, I can't go into detail of what it said because it's quite rude actually, but I actually said that I'd had one of these, and it was actually my stepdad that said, yeah, don't worry, I've had one of them too. It's not real. It was something like,
I know what you watch, and I know what porn you watched, and you're like,
and it's like so they record you through your camera, like they're going to expose you to all your family. And I think at the time I was like 14. I was like, what the heck? I don't even watch porn. So what are they talking about? I was like, I remember I did panic because I was like, have they got me mixed up with someone else? Like,
oh, God.
who are they aiming that at? And I did. I told my stepdad. This was a few years later. And he was like, yeah, I get them all the time. They're not real.
You've just reminded me of something. I think Granny got one and she paid.
No, she didn't.
No, I swear to God, I'm sure she said this last year that she did pay one. I'm sure she did.
You mean it's Bitcoin? You got to pay them in Bitcoin.
No, she didn't. I'll have to. Again.
Oh,
I hope I'm
really
not making that up, but I'm
did.
sure that is a real
If
thing.
she did, what the hell is she watching? Because it must be something worth paying for.
Well, no, because you're not though, are you? That's the thing. They just send these out.
Yeah, I do. I remember I get them like quite a lot. I just ignore them. But I do remember at the time because I remember going to school and like trying to slide it in with people and be like, has anyone ever had like? And everyone's like, no. And
No.
I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, why is it just me? I'm like, they want like 2,500 Bitcoin of me. I don't even know what that is.
But do you know what the amazing thing is? That there will have been a pang of, oh shit, because there will have been something that we have all probably looked up that, you know, that could
well,
possibly
100%.
be dodgy. I was just going to end with, this isn't really scary, but it was, some people thought that this story wasn't real. So, you know, like the urban legends and all.
Yes.
But this story actually was real. And the guy is still alive now.
Wow.
So there was a guy called, I'm not going to be able to pronounce his name, but Akinwell Ariobeki or something like that.
Okay.
So he was a very tall, muscly man. And he used to basically go around asking men if he could touch their muscles. He was like obsessed with muscles.
Okay.
And he ended
Is it
up
scary? Sorry.
No. This
Oh.
is pretty much it. But people thought it was a myth. It was an urban legend. They kind of didn't realise this was a real person. And he had a nickname, which is actually it's got racist connotations. So I won't say what the nickname was. But when you're going down the thread, people are saying, I always thought this guy was a urban myth, but I've actually seen him. I've met him near the gym, or when I think he was around like Liverpool, Manchester, that area. And he used to literally harass people. He was obsessed with their muscles. He's been in and out of prison to the point where I think a 17-year-old lad was being harassed by him, and the kid ran off one day to get away from him, hid under a train and got electrocuted. and died. And he had a yeah.
Right, that's nice.
I'm not laughing at that story. I'm laughing at your reaction. Yes, I just thought I'd share that with you. Had you ever heard of him? No.
No, I haven't
Feel
heard
like
of
feel like
him.
I've just killed the conversation. To lighten the mood. To lighten
Do you know what though? Something's really got a flip of scale to hide on a train track.
Well, it's no,
Jesus
but it's very sad
Christ.
because his girlfriend was pregnant, and
Oh my
no,
God.
no, but it's true. It sounds like a myth, but it's actually a true
That does
thing.
sound like a myth, but that is true.
It's
I'm
not.
really sorry.
If you can look it up. Akinwell Arrow Biek is his name. And if you just put in touching muscles or touching men's muscles, there's a massive long story on the BBC all about him. It's really,
Wow.
really interesting. It's a good, probably like 25-minute, 30 read, in all honesty.
Okay.
But just to lighten the mood, because we don't want to be too serious, do we? He, in his 2006 release from prison, he was handed something called a SOPO, so a sexual offences prevention order. He did always maintain it wasn't a sexual thing. He just had a fascination with people's muscles. So SOPOs were introduced by the Labour government, and they were designed to tackle persistent low-level nuisance conduct. So I guess they couldn't keep putting him in prison, but if he had this order, right. So this just made me laugh. It's ASBO's antisocial behaviour order.
Yeah.
So some ASBOs have been, they've gained media attention. So there was a woman, she got an ASBO because she was banned from having sex with her husband too loudly. There was an 87-year-old person who was instructed to turn down the volume of her Glenn Miller records. And my favourite one, because I reckon I could get an ASBO for this, a man ordered to stop sniffing petrol at petrol stations, the forecourts.
That's very random. I do love the smell of petrol though. It's like
I
crack,
love the
isn't
smell of
it?
petrol. It is, yeah. I might have to. Again, I've killed the end of the podcast like I did 2 weeks ago.
No, you haven't at all. I just wasn't
I have.
expecting that.
No, I curveballed it. But yeah, very fascinating. Look him up. A huge long story about how he just used to. People just genuinely felt terrorised by him, but he maintains that he didn't mean
Yeah, but I
any
mean,
harm.
and you know, even if it wasn't a sexual thing, it does get to a point where it's like, just keep your hands to yourself, you know, like,
And
isn't it?
he's
Like,
a very formidable man.
yeah, if he's a big guy.
I'll tell you who he looks like. Have you ever watched The Green Mile, the Stephen King film?
Yeah.
And the actor in there who is on death row, the big man, very tall, very big man.
Yes, I do know who. Well, he looks like that.
He looks like him. So
Oh,
he's
that's
a big,
intimidating.
and he recognised that himself. He said, actually, whilst I don't believe I'm being intimidating, I probably
I can
am.
imagine I am.
Yeah, but who knows? Who knows? He's still alive to this day.
How old is he?
I don't know. Probably in his 60s now, I'd say.
I guess it was something that's probably like something you hear, like your mates. I don't know. That's something you might hear, like, I guess I can imagine men saying down the pub, like, "Oh yeah, have you heard of what such and such?" And people are like, "Oh, fuck off, that ain't real."
Yeah,
that
kind
kind
of
of
literally what it
thing.
was like. Yeah,
You can imagine it's like that, and then all of a sudden they're like that. That's terrible, and that's very sad.
that is very sad. Yeah, sorry. I just I found that quite fascinating.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, look, thank you very much. Thank you for terrifying the nation with Peeping
No
Man.
worries. I terrified myself.
That is quite horrendous. We should look into that. What the Peeping? Not for now, another time, because time's getting on. But the Peeping Man. I wonder who he is, or what the history behind that is, or if there are any other phenomenon like that.
That's a common thing, isn't it? Peeping.
Is it?
Well, it is quite common, and I should have bloody said this. There's a story that goes around that turns out is not true, and it's basically about this husband and wife, and she starts peeping on him in like really weird, really weird ways. It's like it starts off like he's cooking dinner, and some people say it's real, some people say it's not real. He's cooking dinner and she's like peeping at him, and like, you know, it starts off being really playful and he finds it quite funny. And as it goes on and on and on, she starts getting quite scary with it. And she starts like putting herself in cupboards and like peeping out at him. And then she starts going under the bed and peeping out at him. And then it gets quite serious. And I think at one point they had like a cupboard in the bedroom, and she's like not in the bathroom. Sorry, like those American cupboards with the shutters on.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like just having a shower, and he starts noticing that he can just see her eye staring at him and stuff. And then it gets so serious to a point where he moves out and things like this. And then she's like looking at him through the window, and he's at like his brother's house. And so then she ends up in the house, and I'd have to look at it more in detail. But yeah, the peeping thing, obviously she's alive, she's not dead. But
No, well,
I think the peeping thing is quite
it's just
a
terrifying.
known
Okay.
thing. Yeah, I think.
Okay.
So I
Well,
don't know.
I do think I find this fascinating, the subject fascinating, and the fact that we've got a real life
Oh
of
God,
dead
don't say
people
that.
makes it even
Well, I
more
don't see the dead. I
interesting.
don't know what it is that I have seen or feel,
No.
but they are like figures and they are like people. Some people probably because they are batshit crazy, but I might
Well,
be.
maybe people will be like, oh my gosh, I see dead people too.
I see dead people. But yeah, it's just one of them. I mean, you can't. And I guess it is scary, but I can't be scared of it. Like I feel scared now, but like I don't feel scared now. I feel a bit on edge just
You
because
can't
we've
let it rule your life.
spoken about it. But no, you can't. You just have. That's why I always just say like whatever. If I ever feel something, I just say as long as you don't harm me,
Yeah.
I won't harm you.
Showing that mutual respect.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's wrap it up. This one's gone on for quite a long time. My God. Ellie, block your ears. Cringe. If you did like this episode, if you do follow us, or if you don't follow us but you do listen to us, please follow us. Please give us a review. And yeah, if anything has resonated with you, please do write into the show. She gets it from me she gets it from me 1@gmail.com. I know that cringes you out, but every podcast
It doesn't
does
cringe
it.
me out. I just let you do it. I just don't want to be the one to say that.
Every podcast does it.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Right. Are you off to have dinner now?
Yeah, I'm only gonna have something quick. It's just me. I'll phone Lottie back and just
Oh, okay, sorry.
regulate my emotions.
I know. All right then. All right. Well, look, love you, and I'll speak to you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. I can't end it.
Leave studio.